Hi everybody, welcome back to our van build series. I'm Mike and this is Sir Cedric, our 1988 Mercedes T1 Bremer, which we currently convert into an overlander camper van. This time we finally want to start building the first wall-mounted cupboard, and I think we have a very easy and a little bit different approach which I would like to show you. And this is already a sneak peek of it. Later in this video I also want to show you our very special idea for the rubbish bin, because I wanted to have a solution which cannot smell, which cannot rattle or fall over, and which I can operate with just one hand. So let me surprise you. Okay, let's get started. Our idea is to build wall cupboards on both sides of the van, but only above the kitchen area, here above the fridge and here above this kitchen counter, and not above the bed, because here we want to keep the space to lounge without hitting the head. Here we want to just build something that is a quite flat and open storage area for a mobile phone or a book or something like that, but nothing that could get into conflict with our head. First question usually is, how and where can you mount the wall unit? I would recommend to install a solid subframe in the early stages of your van conversion, which is bolted to the van with rivet nuts. In my case, on each side I have these two spruce wood slats. The T1 has lots of factory original holes already, so it was not necessary to drill any additional holes. Alternatively, you could also use Sikaflex 552 and glue the subframe onto the structure of the van. This is now a very solid base for any wall units. In the subframe I have installed anchor nuts. Other than with normal screws, the wall units can then be easily detached in one piece if that's necessary in the future. The first panels of the new cupboard are these small slats, which we will mount directly in front of the subframe, using bolts in the anchor nuts. And as soon as we have these bolts in place, we can do the rest of the construction for the cupboards comfortably outside on the table and not cramped inside of the van. Next step are the side panels, which are always a bit tricky because of the odd shape of the van. Best way is creating a cardboard template. All panels of the wall unit are 50mm poplar plywood that's both solid and lightweight. This shape is really odd, but it seems to fit very well. The floor panel gets a round corner towards the side of the bed. This will later be an open shelf for the compulsory Instagram pot plant. The side panels are then attached to the slat with a few screws. Good thing is we can do this work outside. And with the floor panel also attached, the whole wall unit is already stable in itself. Before we continue with the flap, we better check if the shelf actually fits inside the van. It does. And I would say this is a really easy way to build good and solid wall units. For the flap we use simple flap hinges. They are strong enough to hold this flap open, so in this case it's not necessary to buy more expensive gas struts. As a design feature we want to use two thin pine slats as inlays in our flap. At least we finally have a reason to use our routing machine.
Das ist okay, also wenn wir jetzt den zweiten auch noch hinkriegen, dann wäre mal gut. Meinst du das mal schaffen?
Ich schaffe das schon.
It's fun how easy the machine carves through the panel, and the result looks surprisingly good for doing this kind of work for the first time. Before mounting the unit in the van, we paint it in white. First layer is Osmo Decor Wax and the second layer is Osmo Hard Wax. The pine inlay gets a thin layer of Osmo Decor Wax in ebony black, which we immediately wipe off again to keep the wood grain visible. And then just a little bit of glue and it's finished. We really love our special design, and I think it looks definitely more special than just a simple white flap. For the area above the bed we create an open storage space with a black rubber cord which goes zigzag between small eye-screws. The space is intended for a mobile phone or maybe small books. As we love our Everlock latches in the kitchen, the flaps of the wall units of course get them as well. With so much practice, it's already a simple routine to install. If you want to know all details about these latches and how to install them, please check out the video linked above. Alternatively, there is also a link to the website of Everlock in the description below. As another small design gag, we have one more inlay. This frogman badge was originally on one of the boxes in the fire truck, so we thought it's a nice souvenir to keep. Before we install the wall unit in the van, we first have to find a solution for these difficult curved areas. Of course, you could build something with wood, but it's quite difficult. I don't want to do that. And maybe we could just leave this black armor flex in the background, but it looks too unfinished. So I think the best solution for these kind of problem zones is self-adhesive felt. We decided to use this 2mm version in black, which we bought from Selbstklebefilz.de. We used this product earlier already and it's very easy to work with and it has a very strong bond. So we glue it directly onto the armor flex insulation and it works perfectly well. We also prefer to use the self-adhesive version because we don't want to mess up the interior with some kind of spray adhesive. The best tool to cut the felt is a simple cutter knife. With the self-adhesive version, it's then easy to work step by step, gradually peeling off the rear sheet. The finished surface looks great and also is nice to touch. We use the same felt also in these difficult curved areas in the cockpit and we're surprised how easy you get a really nice and good finish. We will also apply it now in this area up here. So I can highly recommend this kind of self-adhesive felt, and if you want to check out the product yourself, I have linked the website of Selbstklebefilz.de in the description below. By the way, I used this kind of felt also between the furniture, here for example between the wall of the cupboard and the wall of the toilet. That's a great hack to avoid squeaks and rattles later on the road. Now we can finally install the finished wall unit in the van. With a few bolts this is done in a minute and it could also be removed again in a minute if that's necessary. This is now the finished product. With the Everlock latches it's easy to open, the hinges are strong enough to hold the lid, and with the Instagram plant in position this job is done. Now wait, I have to show you two more features. First one, we have a USB socket up here to charge our mobile phone. And second, there is a recess behind this slat and this is purpose made for an LED strip. And with a dimmer we can create a cozy illumination for chilling in the evenings. Next job is the rubbish bin. I wanted to have a solution which cannot smell, which also cannot rattle or fall over, and which can be operated with one hand.
Also, neuer Test, komm. Ich bin halt nicht mehr fertig. Läuft das Ding eigentlich noch, oder was? Ja. Oh Gott.
This is a Nappy bin with a proper latch for the cover that really keeps it closed and bad smells trapped inside. To avoid rattling or falling over, we built an upside down drawer with a hole in the exact size of the bin. It's easy to remove the bin for emptying, but otherwise the bin cannot move or rattle. Then we installed drawer runners from Sotech and mounted the drawer in the kitchen cabinet. For me, this is the perfect solution. Not only is it perfectly closed, better for sure than the usual household bins, which hang on the door and have a flimsy cover, which is in fact never really sealed, but I can also operate it with only one hand. This DIY version of a bin is also cheaper, and there is plenty of storage space under the bin, at the floor of the cabinet, and also left of the bin, which we will use for a professional filter system to get drinking water directly from the tap. And of course, there is a link to this handy Nappy bin to Amazon in the description below. By the way, behind the other door is the basket for our laundry. With our slim compartment, it wasn't easy to find a basket that fits and also looks nice, but this one here was a perfect match. And of course, it's also linked down below. Well, enough for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, comment and subscribe. And in the next episode, we will build the dinette, which in our case doubles as box for our electrical system. And to be honest, I was surprised that we still had enough space left to accomplish my idea of an open plan dining area with the compulsory view. See you next time.